The Sealed Book of Mormon, chapter 44. And it came to pass that the brother of Jared wrote much concerning the life of Christ. Nevertheless, I, Moroni, have been commanded to include in this record only a small part of the things which the brother of Jared saw, and also many of the things which the Lord hath commanded me to include in this record when he visited me. And it came to pass that as the Lord grew in the flesh, the Holy Ghost was with him and taught him many things which were commanded of the Holy Ghost by the Father. And Jesus was commanded to not use the powers of his body for that which was not commanded of the Father. For Jesus began to see that his body of flesh was different from that of his other brothers and his sisters. For if he cut his flesh, he could command it to be restored unto its original state, like unto that which is of new. And it was immediately done unto him as he had commanded. Now this he could do, as well as many other miracles, wherein he commanded the elements, because of the body that he had received of the Holy Ghost, which was given unto him by the command of the Father. Now, in the latter days, it shall be made known unto you, even Satan shall cause these things to be known unto you, believing that he shall receive the glory of this knowledge, the manner in which the body of flesh is created by the pattern which it receiveth from the mother and the father. And this pattern is followed precisely as the laws of nature direct the creation of this body. For behold, all things that are flesh follow the course of flesh in which they are created. And in order for anything in the flesh to be created, it must follow a pattern that hath been given unto it according to the eternal laws of nature, which the Father hath commanded shall be used upon this earth according to the order of the flesh which he hath given unto us, and with which we pass through the days of our probation. And these laws of nature, even the laws by which we exist, require that a pattern be given by the mother, and also that a pattern and a direction be given by the father. Now, I have said that a pattern is required of the mother, but not necessarily a direction. Behold, the mother hath only to give a pattern of the flesh unto the body that she would create, but the Father shall give a pattern and a direction according to the will of the Father, which is the will of the Spirit. For all spirits are without gender, and it is determined by the Father according to the Spirit which gender the body of the flesh shall be. And this determination is made by the Spirit child of God, and it is made according to that desire of happiness that this Spirit hath chosen for itself. And when a spirit maketh a determination of its gender, then through the Spirit, which again is the will of the Father, the command is given through the body of the mortal father, who unknowingly giveth direction unto the body of the mother of which gender should be produced. And after the determination of gender is made, then the pattern that is given with this direction from the father unto the mother is used, as well as the pattern of her own body, which pattern hath always been with the mother since the creation of her flesh. And these two patterns shall cause to be created a new body that shall be of the mother, until a new spirit entereth into the newly created body upon birth. And a woman hath been given the power to create after the power of her own body since her birth. For inside the woman hath the pattern been already given. But the man cannot have this power except it be allowed of him by the power of his Spirit, which shall be the direction in which his own pattern shall be used, along with the pattern of a woman, to create the new body of flesh. Now, in the creation of the body of Jesus, the pattern of the mother was used, as I have explained it unto you. and the direction came directly from the power of the Father through the administrations of the spirit world, which gave the direction and the pattern that should be used for his body. And the direction was for the creation of a male body like unto that of the Father, and the pattern was given in the exact likeness of the Father, which upon combining with the pattern provided by the body of Mary, created a body of flesh that was both eternal and immortal, yet subject to the flesh, or the nature to which our mortal bodies are created. And when the pattern was followed, which gave unto Jesus the example of that portion of the body which shall be called the cerebrum in the latter days, he was given the pattern also of the cerebrum of the Father, which provided for him certain means whereby the transmissions of his cerebrum can command more elements, which elements have been restricted by the laws of our mortal nature, even the nature of the flesh. But the cerebrum of the Son is not restricted, like unto the Father, and it can command more element than the cerebrums of those who have two mortal parents, who have each contributed a pattern for its creation. Now here is somewhat of a mystery that I will explain unto you of the latter days. For I have explained unto you what cherubim and the flaming sword symbolizeth, even that it symbolizeth the veil of forgetfulness that is placed upon us, so that we cannot remember in the flesh those things which occurred before the days of our probation, that we may be more thoroughly tested by faith. And this cherubim and the flaming sword symbolizeth the formation of our mortal cerebrum, which cannot be used to produce those memories which our spirit can readily recall. For if a spirit is placed in a body where the cerebrum hath not been patterned after the limitations that the Father has set by the representation of the cherubim and the flaming sword, then that spirit would be able to react with this cerebrum of flesh and remember all things. For behold, the spirit was created of eternal elements which cannot be seen by mortal eyes, but which existeth, as I have explained it unto you previously. And when the spirit entereth into the body, it is able to send certain commands to the elements of the flesh or of nature, according to the type of cerebrum that hath been given unto the body of flesh. And Jesus was given a cerebrum that was patterned partially after the cerebrum of the Father, who is eternal and who can command all elements. Therefore the cerebrum of Jesus was so constructed that the Spirit of Jesus, who was Jehovah, could command the elements like unto the Father, but was restricted in some senses because of the order of nature in which he was created by his mother Mary. And Jesus could also remember things that had occurred before he was born into mortality, not having the fullness of the cherubim and the flaming sword placed before him, or in other words, not having a cerebrum that was affected by all the restrictions placed upon the cerebrums of the other children of Adam and Eve. And he could also communicate with the Spirit, which is the means given by the Father to communicate with his children in a much more concise and consistent manner than that which the rest of us in mortality can do. And so it was that Jesus was born into the world with powers that no other mortal man had ever, nor would ever be given. And he was commanded by the Father through the ministrations of the Spirit that he should not use these powers except it be according to the commandments that he shall receive from the Father. And now in this thing was the righteousness of Christ proven in all things. For behold, He had the power to do many things, yea, even the power to give life after the order of the flesh, and take life from this same order of flesh. And if it were his desire, he could command the elements at his will, having the ability to do so because of the body that he received from the direction and pattern of the Father. And the Father could not prohibit Jesus from using these powers as he wished, because of the eternal laws of nature that are given unto them who have this type of body, for they are not restricted in anything that they would do. Nevertheless, the Father could give unto him commandments, but it was by the free will and choice of Jesus that would determine whether or not he would keep the commandments of the Father. And for this reason, very few are allowed to have this type of power, which cometh from a body like unto the Father. And Jesus kept the commandments of the Father in all things from the beginning. And the Father knew that Jesus would keep his commandments. And this was the only reason that the Father allowed his Son to have a body patterned after his own. And so it is with all of those who shall receive a body like unto the Father, or a celestial body that shall have the power and glory of the Father according to the order in which it is created. And once a spirit hath been given this body, it shall have the powers of this body, and the powers of this body shall be under the direct control and will of the spirits who possess it. And for this reason the spirits of all men and women are tested and tried to see if they are worthy of this type of body. And if they are worthy of this type of body, which is celestial, then they shall have all the power of the Father, becoming one with him in all things. And those of the flesh that shall one day receive the power of the Father, even a body that is patterned after his celestial body, and given direction according to their desires of happiness, whether their desires be male or female, yea, these shall be proven to see if they shall do the will of the Father in all things. And the will of the Father in all things are the words of Christ according to the flesh. And in this way is Christ the supreme example for us all. For he shall prove unto all of us that he is willing and able to do the will of the Father in all things, thus proving himself eligible for the power of the Father. And he hath come into the flesh to show unto us all that those who shall receive this power of the Father are fully able to abide the will of the Father in all things whatsoever he shall command them. And in this way the plan of Lucifer is destroyed, even the desire of Lucifer to give unto all the children of God the power of the Father in providing for them a celestial body that alloweth them this power. For the majority of all spirits cannot abide in righteousness in the flesh, but use the limited capacity of their body to disobey the commandments of the Father. And because Jesus hath lived his life as an example unto them, they cannot say that it is impossible to live a life in the flesh according to the will of the Father in all things. For Christ hath already shown unto them that it can be done. Therefore, if Christ can do it, even having the power of the Father, or no limitations on his power, then any spirit that is righteous can do it. And it is much easier for those who have limited power to live according to the will of the Father, for they cannot be tempted to use the power that they do not have. For can ye imagine a world wherein all the bodies of the children of men possess the power of the Father? What would then become of the lusts of men? Could they not create from the dust that which they would consume upon their lusts? And what of the anger and prejudice of men? Would they not destroy anything that upset them or which did not fit into their own desire of happiness? And how would they destroy their enemy? By the power of their word, when by the power of the word of their enemy could be saved. And those who desire more power and riches than another, yea, what would be the end of their creation of gold and silver and the precious things of the earth? For when one by his own command can create a mountain of gold, then another by his own command shall make a mountain even higher than the mountain of the first. And once the first seeth the mountain of the second, then would he not covet a mountain that is even bigger still? And after he had created another mountain, which is bigger still, then would the second create a still bigger mountain until it reach forever into the heavens without end. And thus we can see why the children of men are limited in the powers that they possess. But Jesus was not limited in the powers that he possessed, but he restricted himself in these powers according to the will and the commandments of the Father. Even as a child, Jesus refrained from using his powers. And there were some instances in which he did use his powers, but he did so as he was commanded by the Spirit, or when he knew that the use of his power would bring about that which was good. And it came to pass that on one occasion the young Jesus, of about 10 years of age, was upon the edge of a river where he would retire to be by himself and communicate with his Father through the Spirit. And on this occasion he took it upon himself to observe the animals that lived in the orders in which they were created. And he noticed a particular group of birds that was at the water's edge and which was voraciously devouring the eggs of a certain type of frog that existed along the edge of the river in the shallows thereof. And he had observed that there were many birds which had discovered that the eggs of the frog were pleasant to the taste, and that they were nutritious for them. But the birds threatened the existence of this particular frog, which species of frog could only be found along the edge of this one river. And Jesus had compassion upon the frog, and commanded the elements of its eggs that they would not be nutritious unto the birds, but that the birds would, by their nature, devour the eggs of the frogs, but in their stomachs the eggs would maintain their life-giving essence and be passed out of the bird in its time of excrement. And the birds would deposit these eggs at other places along the river according to their time of excrement, thus assuring the survival and perpetuation of that species of frog. And now this is another mystery that shall be known unto you in the latter days. For among you shall be those who think that the order of nature itself might cause this gradual formation of an egg that shall be adapted to the survival of the species which it representeth, so that it is not completely destroyed. And ye shall think that this gradual adaptation of a species shall take place over many years in a process that ye shall call evolution. But I say unto you, those of you who shall believe these things, yea, what if the Lord had not commanded the elements of the eggs of these frogs? Would they have survived the hunger of the birds? I say unto you that they would not have survived the hunger of the birds, and would have become extinct in the manner of a short time according to the knowledge of the birds and their hunger. And do ye not believe that by the Spirit, even according to the power that is held in the spirit world, that these things can be commanded to take place instantaneously, so that one species of animal or plant might not overrun another? And I say unto you that believe this thing, are not your bodies created of the same elements of which are created the plants and the animals within the order of nature to which ye belong? And do ye not control the elements of your own body in a limited manner? I say unto you, that ye do command these elements, even the elements that cause ye to breathe, and which cause your muscles to move. But with your limitations, you cannot command the elements of another, or of that which is outside of your flesh. Nevertheless, the Lord alloweth examples of this ability to be among you. For are there not those among you who exhibit extraordinary feats, which would require the effects of the cerebrum on outside elements? I say unto you that there are those among you who can do these things, but they are restricted in a limited manner, as I have explained it unto you. And if ye, with your limitations, can command matter, then how much more can be done by one who doth not have the limitations that ye possess? And there are those among you who do not have the limitations that ye possess, but they are under strict command to not use this power unless they are commanded by the Father, according to the ministrations of the Spirit. But unto the body of Jesus there were no limitations given, and thus he was able to do the miracles that he did during the days of his ministry. And there were other miracles that he wrought as a youth, but none of significance for the purpose of this record. And one of the first miracles that he did perform before the eyes of all men, he did perform at his own wedding.